It is the final push as candidates are making last-minute arguments to voters. And, of course, the control of Congress is on the line. Key states that could make a big difference are Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Ohio. And On Balance host Leland Vittert is here for some insights on some of the big races to watch for. Leland, let's start with Georgia. The big race is Democrat Raphael Warnock against Republican Herschel Walker for Senate, and they're neck and neck in the latest poll. And the race has been controversial, to say the least.
It certainly has been. And this is one of these races that's probably been made more interesting by the Georgia election laws, which require you to get to 50% plus one, or you go into a runoff. So we could be doing this all over again for control of the Senate in December. We started with the presidential race in 2020. That kind of gives us a sense of where Georgia is, right? And Georgia, which had been a reliably red state, went for Mitt Romney 2012, went for Donald Trump in 2016. It flipped to Joe Biden in 2020. And that really gives you a sense of why Raphael Warnock and Stacey Abrams believe they have chances here, specifically about what counties we're going to be watching. Cobb County, that's Metro Atlanta here just north. So as we go through the night, us along with Decision Desk HQ are going to be watching this. If Raphael Warnock is running ahead of Joe Biden in a place like Cobb County, where there's a lot of vote, that tells us it could be a very good night for the Democrats. Conversely, if Walker is pulling ahead of Donald Trump, the man who endorsed him in a place like Cobb County, or even a place like Fayette County, in which Donald Trump won, if Walker's doing better there, that gives us a sense that this could be a very good night for Herschel Walker for Republicans. And one of the reasons that Georgia is so important, Natasha, is because you've got a Trump-backed candidate on the ballot, Herschel Walker, and you have an anti-Trump, or at least MAGA-agnostic candidate in Brian Kemp as the governor candidate.
And what are the key issues for Georgia voters right now?
It depends on which Georgia voters you talk to, and that's what makes this so interesting. Raphael Warnock and Stacey Abrams have run traditionally on abortion issues and on threats to democracy. Stacey Abrams has made access to voting an enormous issue, although less so in the past couple of weeks. Herschel Walker and Brian Kemp have run largely on economic issues, and that's what they say has been driving their campaigns. And frankly, the polling supports that over the past 2 months as the conversation has switched in America to economics and to crime, which is a big problem in Georgia. Herschel Walker and Brian Kemp have both started to do a lot better.
And Leland, while we have you, let's talk about Pennsylvania quickly. The big race, Democrat John Fetterman against Republican Mehmet Oz for Senate. Can Fetterman keep his slight edge in the polls to win this?
Well, that's a big question. In the past couple of weeks, we've seen a number of polls with Oz ahead for the very first time. Pennsylvania is another interesting state. 2012, it was a Barack Obama state. 2016, it was a Donald Trump state. 2020, it is, of course, a Joe Biden state. And that's what makes this very interesting. Also, another state where we're watching for ticket splitting between Doug Mastriano, the Republican running for governor, who was a dyed-in-the-wool election denier Donald Trumper, and Josh Shapiro, who's a relatively middle-of-the-road attorney general on the Democratic side. So you may have the reverse of what's happening in Georgia when it comes to ticket splitting.
What are the big counties in Pennsylvania that you'll be watching most closely?
One in particular is Erie County here in the northwest part of the state. This is something that went for Biden over Trump by just a couple of thousand votes in 2020. But in 2016, it went from Trump. So we'll be watching Erie County results really, really carefully. Also, if we go down to Allegheny County, this is Pittsburgh, Metro Pittsburgh. If John Fetterman is going to win, the Democrat, he's going to have to keep up with Hillary Clinton's numbers and then with also keep up with Joe Biden's numbers as well in the western part of the state, perhaps even expand on that. I'll give you just one thing for you all to think about is western PA here looks an awful lot like demographically like eastern Ohio. So we watch counties on both sides of this border also for the key Ohio race.
Yeah, that's interesting. And let's talk about Ohio, the Senate race. Trump-backed J.D. Vance does have a lead over Democrat Tim Ryan. Can Trump take credit for Vance's lead?
Well, he certainly will take credit if Vance's wins, right? We know that. We know that about Donald Trump. Ohio's very interesting. What is perhaps most interesting, and as you think about it, 2012, this was a Barack Obama state. 2016, it was a Donald Trump state. And then he ran up the totals even a little bit more on Joe Biden in 2020. So the question is, why is it that Donald Trump is running 8 points ahead of Joe Biden in 2020, but in 2022, the Trump-backed candidate, J.D. Vance, is only a couple of points ahead of Tim Ryan? It speaks to the quality of Tim Ryan and what the kind of campaign he has been running. And Natasha, it goes to your point. Is there a candidate quality issue, or is perhaps Donald Trump's coattails in a place like Ohio not what they were in 2020?
And Leland Vittert, I certainly appreciate the context. Thanks so much for being here with us.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.